After leaving Swindon Town. It ends weeks of speculation about his future, which culminated in a £1,000 fine and censure by the FA for his part in an alleged betting scandal at Swindon. That was followed 2 days later with a 6-0 Littlewoods Cup defeat for the Hammers and his decision to appeal against his punishment. Upton Park was a sad place to be today. Lou Macari was only West Ham's 6th manager in their history when he was appointed last July. Now the club is looking for its 7th. Rumours that Macari had resigned circulated yesterday when he failed to attend the 2nd Division match against his old club Swindon. A meeting of West Ham's board was held following the game, and with the greatest of ironies at the club where he had enjoyed outstanding success. West Ham officials were giving little away.
You're going to have to just accept this, that there will be no statement from West Ham United tonight. I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting, and that is the position.
It was the alleged betting scandal while he was manager at Swindon which brought Lou Macari's career to crisis point. The scandal was revealed in a Sunday newspaper last year that Macari and club chairman Brian Hillier had allegedly backed Swindon to lose an FA Cup game against Newcastle. Macari was fined £1,000 and given a censure by the FA. Hillier was suspended from the game for 6 months. 2 days later, West Ham were beaten 6-0 in a Littlewoods Cup semi-final against Oldham. That was followed by Macari's decision to appeal against his punishment. That upset the West Ham board still further. His resignation, announced at lunchtime today, came as no surprise, particularly to his former chairman.
Obviously very sad, particularly after the tremendous job that he'd done here at Swindon. And I'm afraid I feel very strongly that it's a few people at Swindon that has brought this upon him, and I feel very sad about that.
Do you think there's any pointer that perhaps he's making that there ought to be other resignations as a result of that?
I think you've drawn as much comment from me on the situation as probably I feel I can make.
Will you be deciding to appeal against the FA's decision?
Again, I've made up my own mind what I'm going to do there, and obviously shall announce that later in the week.
Lou Macari's football career has often been accompanied by controversy. 16 years ago, while playing for Manchester United, he was fined £75 and banned for 3 matches for refusing to leave the pitch when he was sent off. But he maintained strict disciplinary standards, which were rewarded with his appointment at Swindon Town in 1984. Despite being sacked and reinstated, he guided Swindon to the 4th Division title with a record 102 points. Then he took the club into the 2nd Division a season later, and in 1989 to the playoffs, to become one of the most exciting young managers in the game. A lifelong teetotaler, he frequently took his players away to army camps for hard training. Tonight, Macari's footballing career is in tatters. 6 years ago, what odds would you have given that his managerial career would begin and end at the county ground, on the day his first club played his second? No doubt the odds on Macari bouncing back are much shorter. Out on the pitch, Swindon failed to make much headway on the top 2 Yorkshire clubs in Division 2. The match against West Ham ended in a 2-2 draw. 2 goals from Jimmy Quinn salvaged the game for the Hammers, but they have now won just 3 times in their last 16 matches. If Lou Macari had been on the West Ham bench, he would have seen Swindon in sparkling form. Duncan Shearer with an early assault on goal. But the EastEnders were first to go ahead against the run of play. Jimmy Quinn, another Swindon old boy, striking from 25 yards. Locals say Town are playing samba soccer under Ardiles this season, but it was a scramble for the equaliser. Steve White netting his 18th goal of the season. After the break, Town assumed control. Fullback Kerslake, their best player, crossing for Shearer. And the same combination were at it again, with Kerslake floating over 4 tackles. A free kick special from McLaren put Town in front at last. West Ham remained dangerous on the break. Swindon's defence caught napping, and Quinn heading in for his 2nd of the game. Town then mounted a grandstand finish. From Bodin's chip, Shearer was foiled again. In the dying moments, Swindon were convinced they'd clinched the 3 points. Steve White scorching through. but the linesman's flag was up for offside. With all the controversy off the pitch, perhaps a draw was the most fitting result. Swindon are still 6 points behind Sheffield United, with Oldham in marvellous form sitting just behind in 4th place.
A port in the furious publicity which followed, but today the club accepted his resignation. The extended publicity of Macari's appeal against the fine was likely to reflect further on the club, whose chairman Len Cairns issued a short statement confirming his departure was a matter of regret. Otherwise, with Macari's whereabouts unknown and further access to the club denied, only the supporters gave their view.
There's never been any scandal here before, is there? Like, West Ham's always sort of been a family club, so I suppose really a bit, yeah.
You think he had to go?
Yeah, I think so.
Macari, as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad to see the back of him.
Macari arrived last summer amidst controversy over the sacking of his predecessor, John Lyall. Since then, there's been a moderate season on the pitch, changes in the boardroom, and now the association, however remote, with a betting scandal. It's been a traumatic period for a club always regarded as one of the most honourable and stable in the Football League. But Macari's trauma may continue. Both the Football League and the Inland Revenue are investigating allegations that Swindon Town authorised illegal payments to players during his time as manager there. As a player, Macari won honours in Scottish and English football, and his managerial career has not been without success. Whether tonight his association with the game is at an end or merely interrupted remains to be seen.